Have you ever heard about the missing 411 phenomenon?
No, I never heard of
No.
that. No.
So I kind of heard about this. So like essentially the phenomenon about the 411 is like missing people cases. So like but this is people who go missing in these cases are from like national parks like Yosemite,
Really?
yeah, Yosemite, Joshua Tree, and like big national parks
Yeah.
or like forests and stuff like that. But like within these cases, like there are like different cases obviously, but they're like have very similarities about like how they go missing. So like, and then these cases are all throughout the United States and worldwide as well. And so some of the things that like there's a lot of things that don't make any sense, but some of the things that are like very common is that they usually vanish without a trace. There's like hikers, children, and all that. But when they vanish without a trace, they're like never seen ever again within these national parks. And so like some things that are common is they just vanish without a trace or without anybody knowing about anything. Um, and it usually also happens to like people who are experienced, like experienced hikers, experienced hunters. Um, and then most of the individuals, they're like kids. They're usually kids, or they're usually people who are disabled, or young teens, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Those specific, groups. And obviously, like, I understand, like, if it's a national park or a big forest, you go in there, you don't know where you're around. But most of these people, like hikers and hunters, are obviously experienced.
Yeah.
They know
So
they know
should
their
know their
layout.
way.
Yes,
Yeah.
they should know their way. Um, and also, for example, like one of the usually when they're found in like areas that don't make any sense, like at the edge of a cliff. Sometimes it says here that are like in water caves.
Wait,
It's weird.
so they go missing and then they find their bodies, or what are you saying?
So it's either so for these ones they go missing or they find them, but they're already dead.
Oh.
So but most of the ones that I'm talking about are like missing.
Okay.
So most of the 401 cases, like, they never find them, or if they do find them, they're dead. But like when they another thing is when they find them dead, they're the coroner, the people who do the bodies, they can't they don't have a reason. You know how that they have to have a reason
Like
for
a
like
cause
how
of
they
death?
cause a death. They can't cause a death.
That's weird.
It's pretty weird. And then not only that, so like obviously when you get lost in the forest and all that, right? Like they have like the hound dogs,
Oh, yeah,
specifically to like track where you're going or where you trail and all that. And what's really weird is that it's not the animals, but like the dogs that they use to assist to find a trail, like where your last smell was and all that, they like sit down or they like refuse to like smell
Really?
where you were last seen at. So obviously when you were last seen at, they follow the trail where like your smell, but they refuse to like smell or they just sit down.
So
like,
even the dogs don't.
even the
like,
dogs know like something like, hey,
Something's
something's
not right.
off. And then not only that, but like most of the victims, or like some of the people that they don't find missing, they find their clothes sometimes, or like in weird areas, like at the, like I said, like the edge of a cliff, or like shoes like at weird angles, like in a tree. It's just weird stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense. And so obviously, like the bodies, they're like way deep in, if they do find any, they're like way deep in the like the forest and the things. And when they do find the bodies, like, you can't, like, they always say, the people who try to find them, they always say, hey, how did they get there? Like
there's no explanation.
there's
for,
no
like,
explanation for like why you at the edge of the cliff, or like the only way you can get here is if you climb that mountain. How do you, so you're telling me he climbed the mountain and then just his body's not there but his clothes are there? It just doesn't make any sense. What do you think is going on? Like, I don't know, a lot of people are saying like aliens, Bigfoot, or
I mean, it would kind of makes, like, honestly, I don't believe, or I don't think it's like, I think it's something like external, so it's not them. Like, the humans
so
are
what,
not.
what do you think? Something like
Low key, like, they might have like encountered something, and then like something
paranormal,
big,
like paranormal, or like Bigfoot, or like like Bigfoot or something.
like Bigfoot. I mean, low key, maybe, but like I feel like they probably encountered something like really big that they couldn't like fight off, and then like cause they couldn't fight off this thing, they probably like.
So you think it's some like form?
Yeah,
physical form.
Something.
And also the thing
Yeah.
that it's really interesting is how like all the victims are like, if they do find them, or the victims that go missing, they're all like either kids, people with disabilities, or like young teens. Or sometimes if it's not that, they're either really experienced hikers, or really experienced, like, people who go hiking, who go hiking, or who know, or hunters who know the map, because they've been there hunting a while, but they go missing. And so that's why they always ask, how are these people going missing? If you, let's just say, for example,
Like, it just doesn't make
it
sense.
doesn't make
Like,
sense
how
because
you're.
they know the layout of like the whole
Yeah.
forest, where to go to hunt, where to not go to hunt. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And also another thing that's weird is at the time, and at the time where these disappearances take place is early in the evening, so early morning, or like close to like late at night, like sunset. Always when there's like more darkness. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
That's like
That doesn't make any. I don't know.
weird.
That's really weird. And then like I said, also like it's really weird how like obviously if they do find them, like the coroner can't say hey,
can't say the cause of death.
can't
Or
say the cause of death, which is really weird.
Or like
But
explain how they got there, which is
yeah,
like,
explain what they
weird.
got there. But not only that, obviously not the cause of death, but they rule out certain things. So they rule out no animals killed the victim,
Yeah.
or no foul play.
Or foul play.
So no foul play. So no somebody just did it.
Somebody like
yeah,
did it,
somebody
yeah.
didn't kill him or did it,
Yeah.
something like that to him. And then no animals, like a, I don't know, wolf or bear, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So then they always say, we can't.
Yeah, like
can't say-
we can't explain it.
we
So
can't explain
we
it.
don't know what it is.
And then imagine saying that to the family. It's like, I don't know how your family member died or your kid died, but it was definitely not this and that. That's freaking
Yeah.
weird. And then obviously like and then another thing that was really weird is like, if you go in the forest, right? Like I said earlier, like some of these people that the victims that they do find, like their clothes are like half naked, or
Mhm.
like their bodies, or like their clothes is gone, like your boots are gone, or your shoes are gone, or
Yeah.
part of your clothes. I'm like, it wouldn't make any sense if you would have done it to yourself, because like when you go in the forest and you're out at night, hypothermia, you know what I mean? It's cold. I don't know if you've been camping, if you guys have been camping or not, but it gets hella dark and cold.
Yeah.
You're not gonna take off your clothes in the
No,
middle of the
no.
night. You're gonna keep them on.
Yeah.
So my thing is, honestly, like I think something is finding like victims that are vulnerable,
Yeah.
and maybe if you're like on a trail or something like that, and it leads you like off the trail, and then just
But the thing is that, like, I don't even know if it's like vulnerable, because you also said that it also like goes after like experienced hunters.
but that's the thing
So
that doesn't make any
that's like what's weird, that like it goes with like vulnerable people,
because
but
like,
it also like
yeah,
goes
it
with
makes sense to go vulnerable people, but like people who also like are experienced. But the thing is the main thing is they're always by themselves. So it's always they're not by themselves, but they just say they're part of a group, and
Yeah.
then because I'm gonna tell you later in a bit that one of the stories like where a little girl, like they were in a group, but she was like, hey, I want to take a picture. They're like, yeah, go ahead, and it was like 100 yards, like a football field. And next thing you know, that was the last time they found her.
Gone.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. And then come to find out, so obviously there's like hundreds of these people like gone missing to national parks, hunting, game, wildlife, like all those areas and all that. But the area where the most disappearances go, guess where?
Where?
Yosemite National Park.
I mean, Yosemite is like pretty big.
I mean, but that's not the only national park in the United States that's
No.
huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense because there's a lot of people that go there. And as of 2017, there were like 32 unsolved missing person cases in the park. So
That's
30
crazy.
people that they just never found.
But like with these cases, did they find like, was it an animal or something? Like, no.
So they're part of that's what they call the 411 phenomenon. Like they all have similar circumstances, and they all have like similar stuff happening. Like I said, like the clothes are missing, or just you weren't able to tell how they died.
Yeah.
And so that's how they fit in this category, the 411 phenomenon. And so like one of the one famous case in Yosemite National Park of the 411 phenomenon is the disappearance of Stacy Ann Aris. So this happened in July 17, 1981, and she was near the Sunrise High Sierra Camp in Yosemite, and she was only, guess how old she was? She was only
15.
14 years old. Damn. And she disappeared. So essentially how it happened was that Stacy, she went with a group to like a multi-day. Because I don't know if you know if you've ever been to Yosemite, but in Yosemite you can also do horseback riding in some trails.
Really?
So there's trails just for horseback riding, and you also have like a horse camp, like where
Yeah.
you put your horses and all that, right? And so she went for like a group on a multi-day horseback riding trip to Yosemite. And so the group stopped at like the Sunrise High Sierra camp. And it was Yosemite is nice. So if you see a scenic area, you're going to have, obviously,
Yeah,
you got
take
cameras,
pictures.
you want to take pictures, right? And so she decided to take a short distance from the group to take photographs of a nearby lake, right? But she went with a person within the group, but the guy got tired. So he went back to the group. But since it was only like 100 yards, she's like, yeah, go ahead, why not? And then she took her camera. And mind you, she's only 14 years old, right? And obviously he grew tired and he went back to the group and to the camp. And then Stacy obviously went to go take pictures at the lake. And then Stacy continued to walk towards the lake alone, which was like 100 yards, like I said. And that was the last time they ever saw her. So they have witnesses that was the last that she was standing next to the rocks by the lake, and that was documented the last time she was ever seen. Not, I don't want to say alive, but like, in physical form.
Yeah.
And after she vanished pretty much without a trace, and the only thing they can find was her camera lens.
Really? That's crazy.
I can't imagine, like, being out there. Like, I'm already scared of the forest, man. Like, because, like, when I go camping on trails, I always stay on the trail. Always.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you go to the trail, you go in, like, a couple hundred yards, and then you look around, you do a 360, everything looks the same. So I can't imagine, like, a national park like that. It makes sense if they get lost, but, like, they don't find any trace? Nothing?
Not only that, I would think, like, if I was in that situation and I saw something, like, really weird, my first instinct would be to, like, call for help or, like, scream or something like that.
Yeah, and then that doesn't make any sense, too. So, like, okay, let's just say if something tried to grab your head or grab you or do something to you, you're going to obviously scream. You obviously, little girls, you're going to scream loud as you can. And then the only thing they found was her camera lens.
So, like, none of, like, the group heard anything or,
Nope.
like...
That was the last thing they found. And this is, like, in the 90s. So, this is like, in 1981. So, this is obviously early. So, this has been going on for a while now. It's not just like all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's been going on for a while. But like I said, she fits the category of like young teen and was pretty much alone. And unfortunately, yeah. Honestly, so you say you think it's something physical, like a mammal or something, like, I don't know, Bigfoot?
I mean, I don't know, because, like, low-key, like, I don't really believe that, like, Bigfoot exists, but, like, nothing else.
What about this? What about if it's a serial killer?
But the thing is that, like, if it was a serial killer, this serial killer has to be watching, like, everywhere and everything.
Because think about it, right? I'm not saying it's a good area, but I'm just saying, like, if you are, right, think about it. There's hundreds and thousands of people going to national parks. And obviously, like, if you go off a trail, you just follow the victim and then just do your thing, and just obviously not do it there, because obviously based on the phenomenon, there's nothing that is left behind.
That's why there's no traces. So, like, how is a serial killer gonna, like,
and they just vanished?
Do this? I don't think it's a serial killer.
Yeah, I don't think it is, now that I think about it. I think something paranormal.
Paranormal, definitely, but I don't think it's Bigfoot.
I know a lot of people say there's caves in national parks, like underground tunnels.
Really?
Yeah, according to what people are saying, there's a lot of people that say that there's tunnels underneath the national parks, and that's why they take a lot of children and all that.
That's crazy.
I don't know. That's what they were saying, but that is pretty crazy. I don't know. I think it's something paranormal.
Yeah, I also think
but
it's
a lot
paranormal.
of things just don't make any sense.
I don't think this is like from like a human doing this.
I don't know.
I don't think they are, like, it's not like, it just doesn't explain it. Like,
yeah, none of this stuff makes any sense. But yeah, that's pretty much the 401 phenomenon. Now, next time I go camping or going on a trail,
you never go alone.
Sticking to the trail. Somebody has to be behind me no matter what.
Never go alone, guys.
I'm never going alone. As soon as I see the sunlight, oh yeah, bro, I'm going back to my campsite. But yeah, that's pretty much the missing 401 cases.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Phenomenon.